Welcome back, everybody. Today we're up pretty early. I woke up about 4 a.m. this morning to drive about 45 minutes to this small little beach to see if I can get some photography of the sunrise. It should have pretty decent conditions, depending on where the sun's going to come up. Somewhere around there where these clouds are going to just light up. And we got these rocks right here to be our focal point of the entire photo. It's a bit too dark right now to take anything. I did a quick little test shot just a second ago, and as you can see, it's still too dark. But got some of the rocks right here, got nice clouds, nice light of the gradients, from the oranges to the blues. We got a star up there, but it's just a bit too dark to capture anything. That was at 30 seconds of exposure. And the sun doesn't rise for at least another hour or so, probably another 45 minutes. So we'll just have to see what happens when the sun comes up. Alright, so what I'm doing here as it gets brighter is I'm focus stacking between the rocks in the foreground. So that rock right there, and then obviously these rocks and the sky in the background. My time in doing this is going to be a bit tight, because the tide is actually coming in, and with how high the tide can potentially get, it would overtake my camera. Obviously the rocks had already recovered, so that doesn't matter, but most I can do right now is just try to get my shots in focus and then hope that I can, blend it later. I mean, at f8, I don't think I need to focus on that far rock and the sky, but might as well. And we don't need to do any exposure blending right now because it's just so dark out. But yeah, the main focal point of this photo is actually this rock right here. I would love to have a wider lens, that way I can get a little closer to it and get more of the scene out this way. I mean, I could also do a landscape shot, but I'm not sure how well that's gonna look with the sun, so I kind of want to get the portrait shot first, and then we can test the landscape later. I'm just not sure what's going to happen because this water is coming up pretty fast. Alright, so now we're doing our tests. Check out how this will look landscape, only because this water's coming up and the sun isn't going to rise for another hour. It's still going to be great photos. As you can see here, just doing a focus stack here on the landscape. I mean, that sun is coming up fast, but yeah, because it's now losing highlights in the back. But I have my tripod basically buried. My tripod's basically buried in the sand, and I do not want anything to happen to my camera. So I'm just going to continue to get these, just one more image on the focus stack. And I will have to find another spot. So I left that little beach. The waves are getting a little too choppy for my liking, especially with my camera right there by the rocks. if anything happens to my camera, I am done at the moment. I can't really get another. Sadly, I'm not one of the big names where I could just reach out to Canon and be like, hey, let me test out that R6 Mark III you're not releasing. But yeah, so now I'm here by that lighthouse that's on the other side. So the little beach I was at was over by those buildings, that white building specifically right there in the center. And then you see all the trees and stuff. But now I'm coming up on this lighthouse. It's a pretty decent walk. The sun should start rising in a couple minutes, but I'm not sure if you guys can notice this. You can see it well with how wide the angle is. There's a whole line of clouds just over the horizon. And over by where the sun's actually rising, that area, there seems to be a cluster just below the horizon. So even if I stayed over there, I wouldn't have gotten the clouds to light up how I wanted. Which is fine, I still got some pretty good shots out of that spot. And I was actually there last week getting some shots. Can I get a reflection in this pool? If I get low enough? No. Oh cool, I guess I got a reflection of the lighthouse in there with the clouds. Sorry, I just noticed that. This is a nice shot. Composition, very simple, very basic. We don't actually have much of the clouds, you just get like the base of that large set of clouds right there. If I wanted to, I could probably go up further and get that. So like a shot like this. There we go. So a shot like this where I have, that's not centered, that's bothering. Cloud setup's not the best. But yeah, now we have like the base of the clouds, so you can get clouds, and it's probably gonna put the lighthouse in focus. You're getting a little bit of light underneath the clouds because you start seeing the sun rising over there. Now we just focus on the lighthouse to make sure that it actually gets in focus. Oh man, that's actually lighting up now. Maybe I should have stayed over there. Look how beautiful those clouds are. And maybe I can do something with the fishers over there. People fishing. Because that's just a beautiful shot, but it's also not compositionally great. Oh, we got a lot of people coming. Well, I'm gonna give it a few more minutes to see if the clouds by the lighthouse go up. I really like this for some reason. I'm just gonna snap a single photo. But so unfortunately the lights didn't light up. The clouds didn't light up. Sun's beautiful though. There, it's rising up nicely. But we don't really have any of that flare going in the clouds. It would have happened well before it came up the horizon. Still great shots though. And then there's 4 guys right here. Just stopped to ask me if I could take a photo of them. I got an okay shot of them with the sun in the background. So hopefully they like that. I'll take one last shot of them kind of in frame. And I have another obligation to go to, so I'm going to head out.